Hi Aries, welcome to a tarot reading for the week beginning on the blue full moon of March 31st and continuing through the first week in April. It's Raina here, and obviously the cards are already laid out because I had a bit of a situation occur where I had to start over again, where I got interrupted and now there's no way to merge files, so I mean on YouTube at least. And so anyway, I'm just going to start over again. So I was noting in the first go around of this that I did get a couple of cards that were similar, at least, yeah, I think there was at least one card. And then I remembered that the first reading I did was for Libra, because I started with Libra, since this full moon is in Libra. And you and Libra are opposite signs. So that's interesting that I should get the Lover's card for both of you. And with this full moon, as with all full moons, they are oppositions between sun and moon. So the sun is in your sign. Some of you are having your solar return within the first week of April, so happy birthday, or maybe even on that March 31st date. Happy birthday to you as well. And the sun is in your sign, and then you have the full moon in the 7th house of committed partnerships. So in that context for Aries, there's a sense of empowerment, and you're looking at that other person and maybe seeing them in a different way, seeing them in a new light, so to speak. This can be, in some cases, a shock, where you kind of see the real person. Maybe you had some kind of a fantasy of who this person was, and you're seeing their true colors. Now, this would be not just somebody you were randomly dating. This would be somebody that you have made a commitment to the extent of being married to them. And by the way, based upon a comment that I got earlier today, I just want to clarify, when I talk about marriage, I'm also talking about a committed partnership that may not be a legal agreement, but it still is in the same, you know, kind of level, at the same level where the two people are possibly living together. Maybe in some cases they're not, but they're a monogamous couple. And these situations are just as valid, these arrangements, as a marriage would be. In some cases they're, you know, better because the two people are really committed to each other. Just because you get married doesn't mean that you're following through and you're doing what you claim you're there to do. So I just wanted to make that clear. So yeah, so there may be some revelation that happens where you see the other person for who they really are. Full moons can bring out secrets and even endings. But there's always a possibility that you will see the other person in a different light, and that will make you commit even more to them. So let's not just assume that it'll be one thing. For the focal part of the reading, we have the Page of Pentacles, and this can be like a message that you're receiving that relates to some practical situation, including a new job, like a job offer, or you hear that you have gotten financial aid, maybe for college. The Page of Pentacles is the card of the student, so it could even be like, maybe you find out you get accepted to a particular college or grad school, you know. And the other thing, too, is that it can even be a situation where you receive some money. And supposedly with the Page of Pentacles, it's not like a huge amount of money, but it's just like a lump sum, a modest amount of money, possibly a loan that you've been going for. This is during a Mercury retrograde, this first week in the month. So this may be some opportunity that has come back to you, and you've heard back to them finally, from them finally, Obviously, during a Mercury retrograde, they always say don't sign contracts, but sometimes if you have an offer, you're not going to tell Harvard that there's a Mercury retrograde and you're going to wait, a couple of weeks. I mean, that would be dumb. So, you have to just be extra vigilant about whatever it is that you're dealing with. Because, yes, Mercury retrogrades can trip you up sometimes, but it's all good. And, yeah, so this could even be a new relationship with an earth sign individual. And it's in that early stages. What crosses you is the Ace of Cups. So this can be a card of a new relationship that can't get off the ground for some reason, timing issues. Maybe you're in love with somebody who's a Page of Pentacles, or, at least an earth sign. So Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, or they might have a very earthy demeanor, but maybe they are married and they are not, they haven't left their partner yet. Or you are married and you haven't left your partner yet. And so you have that sorted out. So you can't really get into that type of relationship. Or you have started a new relationship and then you just got a job offer. And so the Ace of Cups would be not being able to start a love relationship because you're thinking about moving possibly overseas, because we have at the root cause of this the Two of Pentacles, which can deal with a job offer overseas. You see the ocean in the background. Or just, you could say, like, far away. And the Two of Pentacles, because whenever you have the number 2, there can be like two parties that you're deciding between, or that the person that you care about is deciding between. And so there's some kind of choosing that has to be done, ambivalence, what should I do, indecision, and sometimes maybe in your case you're with a water sign individual, but you want to start a relationship with an earth sign, and so you're still legally tied to that water sign. Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. And they're just kind of, you feel like they're holding you back from starting a new life. But it's possible that you haven't even really tried to make it happen with maybe leaving that relationship. So you're just kind of like, ugh, what can I do here? And the higher message, the spiritual message, is the Four of Pentacles, which is about somebody holding on for dear life to their money. So that doesn't seem like the average Aries person. Aries is a very generous sign, but on top of that, it just isn't, Aries people are just not that concerned about tomorrow. They are very much into the moment, and the classic Aries person is going to just be very spontaneous, or you could say impulsive, when it comes to spending money, because they also feel that there's more where that came from. So it's not like they're holding on. The Four of Pentacles, even though it can be a positive card, it can be somebody who's fear-based about money. So this could be the other party that you're with, and perhaps they're married and they don't want to lose their money. So it could be that they're stringing you along because they have no intention of getting divorced. In the work situation, this can be about wanting to choose a new job because you're just not making you're not making ends meet. This is about somebody juggling two different jobs, maybe. They have that saying, robbing Peter to pay Paul, where you have certain payments, and you pay one month and then you skip it and pay another bill in another month, and just getting by. But you may have a job offer indicated by the Page of Pentacles that is going to solve that problem, where you don't have to work two jobs. But the problem is, you may have somebody that you care about that is that you have to leave behind, and you think to yourself, I just finally found somebody that I really connect with on a deep level, and now I have to go. And the Four of Pentacles can be that you really want to save for some specific goal. Maybe you want to buy a house, and the number 4 is about foundations. So you may want to be spending money for some specific future purpose that is going to serve you for many years to come. So a house is a perfect example of that. The advice is represented by the High Priestess, so this is about really going within, because something may be going on, even with an offer or another person that you're dealing with, where you're not getting the full picture, where there's like half-truths. It just may be that you need to consult yourself. Maybe you're doing certain things based upon emotion or ego rather than what is really good for you or for another person. And you need to connect with your higher self before you make some drastic moves. I do think too that that could also relate to the new moon, the full moon, because the High Priestess is very intuitive, and that's a very intuitive time. And we do have like certain triggers to the area of life that would connect with the spirits. And actually, let me think about that too, if there's anything else happening. Well, not that I can think of overall, but you know, the High Priestess is about be still and know. And so it's more passive, and Aries people are very active, and they like to do things to try to change their circumstance. And sometimes you have to hold back and wait, or just listen to that still small voice within you to get a better grip on the situation, instead of just always like being out in the world trying to do something about a particular situation. The advice is what's coming in is the Queen of Wands. So this can be a card, this is associated with Sagittarius, but you see she's holding a sunflower. So, I mean, I think of Leo, but any fiery energy. And that could be just talking about this period of time, but you are a fire sign, obviously. So this may be for somebody who, this is a work-related reading, that you are ascending to this position of authority within this work, and that you're really in a good state of mind, that you have very positive thoughts, you're in a good mood right now, and you're ready to just start a new job, and you feel confident, you feel like you can do this, you don't feel apprehensive, and you're going to be having people under you, but you're going to be like really good at you know, encouraging them to be their best. If this is for your love life, then there can be a situation where hopefully this isn't a situation of pregnancy. Ace of Cups, I think it can relate to pregnancy. So it can, so with the Ace of Cups in the challenged position, it may be that initially, if you are pregnant, and this could be by somebody that, you know, is already married, that you feel like, oh my gosh, maybe there's a lot of stuff going on. You're trying to get a new job, and you're with somebody who's married and waiting for them to leave their spouse, and then this, and you're like, how am I going to do this? But you're going to, if that's the case, if that works for you, that scenario, then you're going to ease into the reality of it, and it's not going to bother you. You're actually going to feel a sense of calm, or it's not really calm, it's more like positivity come over you, and you're going to be like, I can do this, whatever that means. The outcome is the Lover's card, which is a card connected to Gemini, but also it's a card obviously of love, and two people getting closer to one another and joining forces. So it can be that you end up with this person that you have been wanting to be with. And so maybe they do, if they are with somebody else, maybe they leave that person to be with you. And if the other person is just somehow dragging their heels, at one point they will maybe come and commit to you, and you have this sense of this positive vibe about it all. And I feel like the High Priestess situation or card is kind of pivotal, that helps you to be able to see the situation at a deeper level instead of just reacting to it. And so that kind of makes it go in your favor. So that definitely, you know, goes along with the scenario where the full moon could bring about a greater appreciation of your partner. And or though if you're married and your marriage is teetering on the brink, then this full moon may be the death knell, and then you'll be moving on, and you have somebody else that you feel much more attuned to. Okay, Aries, I hope that you enjoyed this, and if you'd like a private reading, please click on the link below this video. Take care. Bye.